Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our magical journey through the world of Harry Potter. Today, we're diving into part 3, The Boy Who Found Out He Was a Wizard. If you missed the last part, be sure to check it out. Now, let's get back to the story. The tiny hut on the rocky island trembled as a storm raged outside. Suddenly, a thunderous crash echoed through the room as the door was knocked clean off its hinges. Standing in the doorway was a man of immense size, at least twice as tall as an ordinary person, with a wild mane of black hair and a tangled beard that nearly hid his twinkling, kind eyes. He held a peculiar pink umbrella in one hand and a large package in the other. "Couldn't make us a cup of tea, could ya?" he boomed cheerfully, stepping inside and shaking off raindrops. The Dursleys were frozen in terror, but the giant's attention was fixed on Harry. Hagrid's the name, Rubeus Hagrid, keeper of keys and grounds at Hogwarts. "And you," he said with a warm smile, "must be Harry Potter." Harry, completely bewildered, could only stammer, "Excuse me, but who are you? And how do you know my name?" Hagrid's massive face softened. "Blimey, didn't even know it was your birthday, did ya? Well, here." He reached into his enormous coat and pulled out a slightly squashed box. "Made it myself. Might have sat on it at some point, but it should still taste fine." Harry carefully opened it. Inside was a large, sticky chocolate cake with the words "Happy Birthday" Harry written in green icing. A wave of emotion washed over him. In his entire life, no one had ever given him a birthday cake, let alone a real present. For a moment, he was speechless, just staring at the first birthday cake he could ever call his own. Then, Hagrid handed Harry an envelope. It was made of thick, yellowish parchment, and the address was written in shimmering emerald green ink. Asterisk Mr. H. Potter, the floor, hut on the rock, the sea asterisk. Harry's hands trembled as he tore it open. The letter inside was an official acceptance to a place called Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. It explained that he was invited to begin his studies as a wizard. Harry looked up, his mind reeling. "There must be some kind of mistake," he said quietly. "I mean, I can't be a wizard." "Il me garom jus." "Harry, just Harry," Hagrid stared at him, utterly dumbfounded. "Not a wizard." "Not a wizard? Of course ya are. Did ya never make strange things happen when ya were scared or angry?" Suddenly, fragments of memories flooded Harry's mind. The vanishing glass at the zoo, his hair mysteriously growing back overnight, the impossible leap onto the school roof. It all clicked into place. Hagrid smiled knowingly. "You're a wizard, Harry, and a thumpin' good one. Once you've been trained, I'd wager." With a trembling voice, Harry asked the question that had been buried deep in his heart for years. "My parents. My mum and dad, were they wizards too?" Hagrid nodded slowly, his expression growing somber. "Best witch and wizard I ever knew. Head boy and head girl at Hogwarts, they were." He paused. "Killed by the Lord Voldemort." At the mention of the name, Uncle Vernon finally found his voice. "Stop. I forbid you to tell him anything," he shrieked. But Hagrid simply glared, and the force of his gaze sent Vernon shrinking back against the wall. Hagrid continued, his voice low. "When you know who tried to kill ya, something happened. His spell rebounded, destroyed him instead, and you survived. That scar on your forehead," he said, pointing, "that's no ordinary cut. It's the mark of his failed curse." Harry sat in stunned silence, his heart pounding in his chest. He had always felt different, an outsider. Now, for the first time, he understood why. When Hagrid mentioned taking Harry to get his school supplies for Hogwarts, Uncle Vernon snapped again. "He's not going. We swore when we took him in that we'd stamp out all that nonsense." Hagrid's face flushed with anger. He whipped out his pink umbrella and pointed it directly at Dudley, who was cowering behind his parents. With a flash of light and a squeal of terror from Dudley, a curly pig's tail sprouted from the seat of his trousers. "Oops," Hagrid grunted, lowering his umbrella. "Guess I shouldn't have lost me temper." He then turned back to Harry, his good humor returning. "Best get ya some proper school things tomorrow. We'll go to Diagon Alley. It's a secret place for wizards. You'll love it." A huge grin spread across Harry's face. He was still trying to process everything, but one feeling rose above all the confusion: happiness. For the first time in his life, it was not Ju the boy who lived under the stairs. He was Harry Potter, a wizard, and his real adventure was just about to begin. Thank you so much for joining me for this part of the story. It's such a pivotal moment, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you want to find out what happens next in Diagon Alley, make sure you stay subscribed and have those notifications turned on. Drop a like if you're excited for Harry's journey, and I'll see you all in the next video.